Welcome to part 4, the last part of the noun review from Latin 1. Last time we learned all about the dative case, and what's part 4 about? It's a little bit more about the dative case. So first thing we're going to do is review the song, take a look at the noun chart, take a look at some sentences that use a different form of the dative than what we talked about, and actually look at some grammar notes on it. This is really not that hard, I promise. So here we go. Let's sing the song. Okay, 3, 2, 1. A-E-O-I, yeah, that's the dative. Use these endings when you show, tell, or give. Is, boost, tells to or for, with indirect objects, special verbs, and more. Now, I was running out of time on the last video. Didn't have a chance to put that information into the single most important piece of paper I will ever give you, aka the noun chart / verb chart. But here it is, and I've put it in. So we have A-E-O-I, yeah, that's the dative. Now you might be saying, why are there two O's? Because remember, the second declension has both masculine forms and neuter forms, and we're not really worrying about the neuters right now, but I just went ahead and gave you a heads up that the dative endings are the same, singular and plural, whether or not the noun is masculine or neuter. So A-E-O-I, yeah, that's the dative. So first, second, third declension, singular. And then is, boost. So you've got first, second, third declension, plural, tells to or for, with indirect objects, special verbs, and more. Okay, think about that last line, with indirect objects, special verbs, ... and more. When we look at these sentences, these come from stage 11, which I believe was the last stage that you guys did last year. Now, oh, this is a nice little bromance here, hand on shoulder. Look at this guy right over here. He's got a beard. And if you didn't figure it out, people with beards in our stories are usually not good. Usually criminals or fall-down drunks or something like that. So anyway, moving on. Cives in foro candidato spectant. The citizens are looking at the candidates in the forum. This was all about running for a political office. And you've got nice hat and unibrow to boot. This guy, agricolae clamant, nos candidatum optimum habemus. So the farmers shout, we have the best candidate. And those words, of course, are accusative. They're the direct object of habemus. The accusative case goes em. It's the direct object. And then second sentence here, candidatus noster est Lucius. Our candidate is Lucius. Now check out the third sentence. Nos Lucio favemus. Okay, nos means we. Favemus means support or favor. And then look at how his name is spelled. Lucio. It ends in an O. Now, in this previous sentence, we saw Lucius, so we know his name in the nominative ends in US. So we look at the handy-dandy noun chart. Nominative, US. Okay, second declension noun. Where do I see the letter O? The dative case. Indirect object? Tells to or for? What? We favor to Lucius? We favor for Lucius? That makes no sense. What does make sense is if you say we favor Lucius or we support him. Okay, keep that in mind. And now look at old Baldy here. Mercatores agricolis respondent. The merchants respond. Agricolis is tells to or for. The merchants respond to the farmers. Nos candidatum optimum habemus. We have the best candidate. Candidatus noster est mercator. Our candidate is a merchant. Nos mercatori favemus. We know mercator. See how it ends in OR in the nominative. We know, looking at nominative singular, that bam, something random, third declension, mercatori, ending in the letter I, is the dative singular form. So once again, we favor or support the merchant. Now, you might be scratching your head saying, but Mr. Allen, why isn't mercatori in the accusative case? Because that really sounds like a direct object to me. And if you're asking that question, you are very Very wise, beyond your years. And now we'll look at, I think, whoa, my God. A couple more examples here. Look at this one. Look, oh, he does not look happy. Pistores in fordo clamant, nos pistores candidatum optimum habemus, candidatus noster as pistor. So the bakers, that's what a pistor is, the bakers shout in the forum, we bakers have the best candidate. Our candidate is a baker. We credimus. We trust the baker. Pistori there, again, dative case. Weird. Look at this. The young men respond to the bakers. We young men have the best candidate. Our candidate est athleta. He is an athlete. We credimus. We trust the athlete. Again, why is that not athletam, am at the end? Because it's a direct object. And then finally, see, I told you, dudes with beards, forays, thieves. The thieves shout, we also have a candidate. Our candidate is a thief. Okay, at least you're honest, right? We do not trust our candidate, but we support him. Hey, very nice. And candidato there is in the dative case, okay? As kind of acting like a direct object. Oh, but it's not. It's in the date. It's weird. Okay, moving on. So we saw these sentences just a few seconds ago. Ignore where it says part 1. But you can call this special verbs. All right? Some verbs have a direct object in the dative case. And it all depends on the verbs. And they're just a little pile of verbs that I call special verbs, that many Latin teachers just call special verbs. And here are 3 in particular from stage 11 that you'll want to know. Credo, faveo, and placeo. Credo meaning to trust. Words that come from that would be credit, creditable, incredible, which means something that's not able to be trusted or believed. Creed. The word credo, C-R-E-D-O, is an English word. Faveo, of course, favor, comes from that, favorable. Placeo, placere, placui, to please. Ultimately, placate comes from that. So there you go. Whenever you see one of these 3 verbs, the direct object will not be in the accusative case. Instead, it will be in the dative case. So what's the trick? The only trick is to memorize those verbs. And how will you know when you come across a verb? Because if you look in the book, in parentheses, right after the verb, it says plus D-A-T, period, and then close parentheses. That means that this verb will have a dative direct object, plus dat. All right? Now here are a few more that you will see coming up very soon, so you might want to go ahead and learn them. Apropinquo means to approach. It takes a dative direct object. Ignosco, to forgive. And persuadeo, to persuade. Placeo is kind of a strange verb. It means to please. It's often used what's called impersonally, as in this example, placetne tibi, which means, is it pleasing to you? That's kind of strange. I don't know why I put that in there. Just ignore that, okay? So let's take a look at some of these really quickly. I took most of these straight from stage 11, the stories. I got really lazy and did not draw the long marks, the macrons. I should have done that. Forgive me, please. Okay, nos afro favemus means we favor affair. That's a guy's name. Vos amicis creditis. You all trust the friends or your friends. So again, we would think that this would be direct object, but because credo is a special verb, it's followed, or it comes with a dative direct object. Look back at your song, by the way. With indirect objects, special verbs, and more. And that kind of looks like a shoe. Look at that. Interesting. Okay. How about this one? Mercatores candidato nostro non credot. The merchants do not trust our candidate. There it is again. Dative, but being used as a direct object. Pistores mercatoribus respondent. The bakers respond to the merchants. The reason why I put this one in here is just to kind of trick you. Respondent is not a special verb. Just keeping you on your toes. Now, how about this one? Mihi placet convenire in foro. Well, if you look back at how I told you placet is usually translated, is it pleasing, then you can figure out this probably fairly easy. It is pleasing for me to meet in the forum. And then placetne tibi legere libros. Is it pleasing for you to read books? Well, I would hope so. Reading is good. Okay, so that is it in terms of a noun review from last year, focusing on nominative and accusative and dative cases, focusing on the first three declensions. As we move forward, we are going to learn the ablative case and the genitive case by the end of this semester, as well as the fourth and fifth declensions. But I don't want to overwhelm you so soon. So there you have it. Hope all is well, and verbs are coming soon. Bye.